Josh, it's great to have you back on 360. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
What do you think of that? 5 grand finals.
Yeah, it's obviously a bit of a pinch yourself moment. Obviously, being a young kid growing up and seeing grand finals and how they're played, and now to obviously be playing my 5th is incredible. So very grateful for the opportunity.
So 2 wins and 2 losses. How sharp is the difference between winning and losing on grand final?
Yeah, I mean, you listen to Horse Longmire there, and he's totally right. Like, it's either the best day or the worst day of your life. So we're excited about the opportunity on Saturday, and we know that Geelong are going to bring the heat, and we've got to be ready for it and give it our all and see how we go.
I'm interested in this. You've been here, which was last year. The result was great. I don't know whether you're superstitious or not, but it speaks to the fact that you're able to compartmentalise. I mean, there are a lot of players that wouldn't contemplate doing a television show 2 nights out from a granny.
Yeah, I'm not too superstitious. I obviously did it last year, so it worked for me. But I just feel like we come to Melbourne early, and if you're not enjoying the environment and what the game brings this week, then why be here? You've got to really let yourself go, enjoy the week, embrace everything. And I'm sure a lot of players have been out there this week talking about it, but you've got to make sure you do that and really embrace it.
That's a great attitude. We're thankful, and I think everyone watching at home would be as well. So Chris Fagan, your coach, has been on the record saying that this is your best year, your best home and away year, and the finals that you've played have been outstanding as well. Do you concur?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, since I've been at the footy club, it's definitely been one of the toughest years from a draw point of view, and also injury as well. So it's just a special group. The way that we're able to stand up in big moments and still have guys, like Ty Gallop and Logan Morris last year stand up, and Kai Lohman as well. So there's so many guys that are young, that have done so many important roles for us and have got us to this point.
A little bit of track watching today. Let's dig into what you saw. Did you have half an eye towards Lachie Neale at training?
Oh, to be honest, not really, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I watched him last week on a Tuesday before the prelim final and saw him running around and thought, geez, he's not going to miss if we win. So I actually thought he was a chance to play last week, to be fair. So normally with the calves, you see him limping or whatever, but he's been unbelievable. He's done a fair bit of work in the hyperbaric chamber and things like that. So it's obviously worked for him, and we can't wait to have him out there on Saturday.
So how remarkable is the club put out its own press release the day after saying his season was over, and here he is in the biggest game of all? Yeah,
I mean, it's a credit to him. He obviously had the 1% chance that he thought in his mind to potentially get himself up if we were to make it through, and to do that, obviously he's incredible. So I'm pumped for him. Fingers crossed we can get the job done on Saturday, and he can look back on that thinking what an incredible decision.
I love that degree of certainty, Gerard. That tells us a bit of a story as well, particularly about how Josh knows him better than anyone else. So Geelong, of course, have made one forced change as well. So Tom Stewart goes out, who's really significant, and Reece Stanley is the player that comes back in. And it will take some replacing that man. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Did you sit back and watch that game?
Yeah, I did. Watched it with my family in the hotel last Friday night, and it was an incredible game. Obviously Hawks were up and about with their momentum, and the Cats just were able to stand up to it and fire back the other way. So it was good, and also some learnings from the game and the one that we played against Geelong as well early in the final series. So plenty that we looked at that we've gone to work on this week, and yeah, fingers crossed we use some of it.
Your performances have been magnificent against Geelong, particularly. You might touch on them in a moment, Gerard, but I guess I was interested when Fag says, you can wander in every now and then and say, hey, I want him, or I'm keen to redeem myself on the back of a performance that you don't get beaten very often. Have you had that conversation this time round? Have you wandered in and declared that I know we're a team, but I wouldn't mind him?
Yeah, probably not as much this week. There's certain players in the Cats lineup that they'll all get off the chain at some certain point. So to be able to change up the way that they look and where I go is bit of a sort of goal of mine this weekend, I feel. They've got some dangerous players. Dangerfield I thought he was incredible. One of the best games I've seen last week. Obviously, they've got Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, so many damaging players. And the other one in there in the midfield too is Tom Atkins, who's given them some real drive, and he's been incredible this final series. So we're going to have to be paying some attention to him too.
So will you be ready to go to any one of those where needs be at any moment?
Yeah, it's sort of a thing, I'll feel out there on the ground on grand final days. If someone's getting up and about, one of the boys might come to me and say, just go to him for a little bit, or I might just bring it on myself. So I'm having conversations with Brucey, our midfield coach, and Fags on the bench as well. So there's so many things that happen that out there that you sort of can't control, and if I can go and control it, then it's what I'll do for the team.
Did you think your days of playing on Dangerfield might have been over? And yet they're probably right back in front of you in the middle.
Oh, as I said, he's been an incredible player for such a long period of time. But to see him play the way that he did last week was insane. Like, full hats off to him. He's obviously throwing his body around and doing all the hard things for the team, and he was able to hit the scoreboard as well, so very damaging.
What about this group here? Your faith in this group? And we've sat back and, you know, everyone just marvelled at what you did last year in the grand final, and then you've done it the hard way this way. And every line you look through there's a story. I mean, how confident are you? You know, don't worry about the win and loss, that'll sort itself out, but in this team to put its best foot forward?
Oh, fully confident. I mean, you see guys in there that have put their hand up, and the youth that I've talked about already, like, and there's guys that missed out last year. You know, Darcy Gardner wasn't there last year, Oscar McInerney, another story. So many stories, as you mentioned, but full faith in the group. I get goosebumps thinking about it, running out there with those boys, because, you know, it's not only that team, but it's also the team behind the team as well, like our squad and our footy club. So really excited to get out there and hopefully put on a show for our fans in our club.
So the names that are missing, Tom Stewart's the name missing from the Geelong lineup, and Gerard Berry's the name missing for the Lions. So that's the hard part of the week, and he lives the Oscar McInerney experience of last year. How have you been with him during a pretty tough week for an individual? Yeah,
it's tough, and Bez was similar to Locke. Like, he gave himself every opportunity. He's such an incredible person, Bezza. I take my hat off to him. It was his call at the end of the day, and he put the team first. So I don't think we can look too far ahead of that for inspiration, if you know what I mean. I feel like he's a leader of our group. He's a player that's played an incredible year, and to say that you can't be ready to go on grand final day is just incredible. So, yeah, I'm in awe of what he's been able to do, and fingers crossed we can get the job done for him.
Some players play well against teams regularly. You've had 25 plus, and I know for you it's not all about possessions, in your last 7 games. I don't know whether you're aware of that against Geelong, but is there something about the group, or you're not aware of it? But look at these numbers. They're pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I wasn't too aware of that. But, I mean, it's a team that I love playing. I love playing against the best, and Geelong have been the best for a long period of time. So those games you really get yourself up for, as you know, and it's going to be a great challenge this Saturday. But all our experiences against them over the years, especially since I've been at Brisbane, have been, even at the Bulldogs, to be honest, have been incredible games. So love playing in those big games and taking it up to them.
How are you feeling right now? Like, we saw some pictures of your post-game. You weren't trying to hide behind a door. You're in the moon boot, which I imagine is precautionary, and at best everyone's got a little niggle here and there. What was this about?
Yeah, just a little ankle from the game last week. I'll be fine come Saturday. It's just a bit of a precautionary thing that you want to make sure you get sorted straight away and stiffen it up, and then get ready to go throughout the week. So I'm fine, and yeah, did a little bit of training today and look forward to the game.
You've gone the distance 2 years running, so the maximum 27 games last year and 27 again this year. So you are both schooled in it and amassing a lot. Do you sense when you're all together you've still got that one big performance in you?
Yeah, for sure. And I said it last year, I feel like we're sort of peaking at the right time. We've got those guys, we've given them that experience and our ability to stand up on the big stage. You know, those guys, all our team have confidence in doing that. You know, it doesn't really get bigger than playing against Collingwood last week in a prelim final with all their fans, and it's not as many corporates there in the prelim final, so it was loud as. I've never experienced that other than probably 23 grand finals. So that experience holds us in good stead, and yeah, I'm fully confident moving forward into this game.
It's just awesome to have you. We're going to let you go in a moment. Just talk me through, pre-game, hour and a half out. There's Snoop Dogg's doing his stuff. Do you wander down the race, have a bit of a peek, or where are you, and what sort of a build-up are you? Like, you're very relaxed here and so impressive, but do you get into a zone, or is it pretty relaxed?
I feel like I get more nervous as we're heading to the ground, but as soon as we're with the group of boys and the team and the environment, you're there at the G, like, you just settle in. I settle in and I feel like you have a bit of fun. The whole pre-game ritual or the warm-up goes out the window because there's so many different things. You've got to be able to warm up. I think it's an hour and a half before the game. So instead of going out there 45 minutes before, it's completely different because of all the pre-game entertainment. So it is a little bit different, but they're the things you learn over the years, and I've been lucky to experience that stuff, so be able to share that with the boys that are playing in their first.
Yeah, so what will you share? What makes it special? Is it different to any other day?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think the week's different. If you're trying to do... I was talking to Sammy Marshall early in the week around, he's got a lot of things that he likes to tick off. And we all do as footy players. We're all very superstitious with our stuff during the week and preparation, but you got to almost throw everything out the window and enjoy the week. Whatever comes. And Koch has actually been a big one for us as leaders too. He's come into the footy club and said, we've got to be able to make sure we're adaptable. You can't control these things this week, so make sure you move them on pretty quickly and don't get caught up in the moment.
All right, we're letting you go. Just give me a little inkling who you might sidle up next to. I'll give you an inkling. I think you're sidling up next to Patrick Dangerfield.
Yeah, potentially. First bounce.
How good was
We'll
that?
see how we go.
Good on you, mate.
It'll be good.
Terrific, Josh. Thanks a lot.
Great to have you in, mate.
Thank you.
Josh
Cheers.
Dunkley, already a two-time premiership player, saddling up for his 5th grand final.